there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Metal Gear Solid 5 S-Rank walkthrough. This is episode 43, Shining Lights Even in Death. And there is no rank on this mission, but because this is technically a walkthrough as well as a best rank walkthrough, I've left it in for just for the the flow of the guide. And it's a very interesting mission, this, because gameplay wise it's very simple. Story wise it couldn't be more, shall we say, complex. And I found this to be one of the most moving pieces of video game I've ever played. And that's coming from somebody who's, when it comes to certain video games, I'm almost sociopathic. On others, I'm guaranteed psychopathic. But for the most, there's just a profound lack of care, unless it's some kind of narrative. Like, I've never really been too fond of this whole, you can be good, you can be bad, or you can be neutral thing, because I just never seem to think it's ever really reflected well in gameplay. And I'm always bad. Like, I blow Megaton up, I kill traders, I do nasty things in those games because human life is very cheap when I'm playing and I need money. And, it's a video game, so why not do the stupid stuff, I always think. You can be nice to people in real life, let's be nasty to folks in the games. That's generally how I roll. And on this mission, at the beginning, when I knew what it was going to be, I started this mission shooting people on the ground, like, this is containment, this is that parasite, we need to stop it, let's go in, let's take them out, this sucks, it's awful, but let's do it. And I shot the first two guys and it failed me. And I'm like, okay, well that's stupid, I thought it wanted me to shoot them. But it doesn't. It wants you to go through this first area and have this kind of narrative experience, and then it wants you to shoot them. And you see, at that point, I'd almost talked myself out of doing it. So when it came to this moment, I was like, I don't want to do it. And at first I thought they were all going to turn into zombies like these dudes. Because if you put your night vision goggles on, it shows you the parasite in their throat, and it means you have to kill them. And I don't think you can escape this level unless you kill them. Oh, by the way, my aim just then, you might be wondering why I couldn't hit that guy's face. I've turned the auto aim off. I found that when I was aiming for people's faces and the characters were moving around a lot, I was fighting the auto aim, and when you turn it off you don't have to, but every so often you're reminded of what it's like to not have that magnetism keeping you on target. So if you see any questionable aim, it's purely because I haven't got my my thumbs on the sticks working just as well as they can do. But from this point onwards, you're pretty much tasked with shooting your own soldiers, and most of them haven't turned yet, so if you're listening to this, it's pretty fucking harsh. And I got goosebumps when I was playing it on my first time, like full on physiological response to what I was doing, and that is so rare. I mean, I've played so many games, and I think it's literally, you don't realise how attached to your mother base you are, because you've spent a lot of time there recruiting these people, and the last thing you want to do is kill your own men, especially when they're bloody lucid. It's not like they've gone zombified like those other idiots. These people they want you to save them, they think you're gonna save them, and then they kinda beg for their life, and it gets real rough. But it's the level, and it's what you've got to do, guys. There might be a way where you don't do this, but this is the quickest way I know to do it, so this is the way I did it. And there's a really fucking awful thing that Emmerich does on this part. So spoiler alert, guys, because story's gonna happen. And story's happening right now. You shouldn't be watching this unless you know what's happening. But Emmerich is guilting Boss into look at what you're doing. You're killing these people. You should be saving them. Why aren't you saving them? Why are you doing this? He's making you out to be a monster, when this is literally the only thing that can be done. These people are already dead. They're already gone. All you're doing is the courtesy of stopping their suffering. But Emmerich gives you the worst time, like straight up guilting you, and, spoiler alert once again, you grow to realise that he's a sociopath. He's a compulsive, lying sociopath. And just the fact that he did this, and he's going to actually intercede in the funeral that happens later on, where Boss gets all, like, ashed up, which looks cool as shit, but I don't think you can have it as a face paint, which is a shame. But, like, I just thought it was the sickest thing in the world. And for a game to make me feel like that, and I've only really had that response from real life, books, and films. So it was a narrative moment where, for all the failings of Metal Gear Solid 5, in the way its narrative's presented, in the narrative itself, and in just the general fundamental failings of it as a Metal Gear, This moment probably resonated more with me than any moment in any other Metal Gear game. Like, pretty much most moments in any other game I've played. Like, this was all the way up there with like some of the moments in The Last of Us that came out of nowhere and I didn't expect, and they really, shook me up. And as a medium and as an art form, I think it's wonderful. That being said, like, this is really dark, this mission, and I even tweeted that, like, it was one of the darkest things I've done. And I wanted to say, but, Twitter's kind of restrictive in how it works, that No Russian was an example of a bunch of controversy over something that should have been a very poignant plot point, but I don't think they achieved it right. This moment here is worth 1,000,000 No Russians, because these motherfuckers salute you as you're executing them, and it gave me absolute shivers. And I'm just doing it like I'm a Terminator right now. I'm near the police station. I'm taking out Lance Henriksen and his black buddy.
Is he wearing a mask?
But
He might not be infected.
straight up, just wow, really wow. Like, this is No Russian done right for me personally. And then you find this guy who's not infected, and then you get to save him. And at this moment, there's not going to be any more conflict, so you can take off your night vision if you want to recharge them. Only problem with this moment is you hear a lot of Steve Blums and you hear a lot of Crispin Freemans. So if you're a fan of Hellsing, the anime, half the people at the mother base are Alucard. It's fucking annoying. But this place is a little labyrinthian as well, so you want to be careful. It has its twists and its turns, and it is very easy to take people to the wrong door, which is what I'm about to do in a moment, but I'll show you how to correct it. But this mission, this might be my favourite mission in the game, outside of a quiet exit for story, because I think it's wonderful. However, episode 45, as much as I hate that level because I think the gameplay is dog shit, the storyline there is stronger than anything else in the game for me. And considering it's concerning a character who doesn't speak, it speaks volumes of just how much more personality that person has in her silence than, like, fucking Kiefer Sutherland does. And of course, this guy's infected, so we save him to only have to execute him anyway. And then there's a whole bunch of emotional shit that's about to happen now. It's a great sequence, guys. You have to play it. Please don't ruin it by watching this first. Should have said that at the beginning, shouldn't I, really? But thank you for watching. You take care now.